So hi everybody. So in the last video you must have seen me plant some coconuts, and before that you must have seen me plant some areca nuts. I was only able to plant 110 of them and coconuts maybe about 7. So this week I'm going there to do the rest of the work. So I've asked the nursery guy to send me about 400 Areca saplings, and I have a couple of coconuts that I bought from Kerala. So I'm going to be planting all of them today. So that's the idea. It's going to be a long drive. I just started out of Bangalore just now, and it'll probably take me about 3-4 hours to reach there. That is hoping that the traffic isn't too bad, but from the way it's looking, the traffic is really bad. Today is Saturday morning, and I think a lot of people just wake up in the morning and they think that they'll go for a long drive, maybe go get something to eat, go for breakfast outside. So yeah, the traffic is bad, but I'm hoping that it shouldn't take me too long, maybe 4 hours given the situation. Yeah, so that's the thing. But on the way I'm going to stop for breakfast. I haven't had anything, so a quick breakfast, and then the next stop is going to be the farm. I'm really excited. It's been like a couple of weeks since I've visited the farm, and I'm hoping that the saplings that I planted have grown and the new sprouts, the new leaves have come out. So I'm really excited to go see all of that. And I think this is the rewarding bit, where if you're a farmer, you feel like you want to go to the farm and see what is happening there. You want to see the new the leaves come on the plants or the trees that you've planted, and all of this is really rewarding. So I know I'm talking to you guys, but then I also have to keep my eyes on the road and make sure that I don't cause any trouble on the road. So that's another thing that I have to be careful about. But yeah, things are looking pretty good. It's a beautiful day. It's very sunny, and I called my uncle who stays near the farm, and he told me that it hasn't been raining for the last few days. So the day is, given the situation that it was not raining, it is good to go plant the plants now. So yeah, that is what I'm gonna do. Really excited for the next month. I have a lot of things planned. It's not just the areca nuts, but I also have some beans and a few other things that I'm going to plant at the farm. And also I'm thinking about maybe growing a couple of other things, a poly mix, maybe a polyculture. I'm not planning to do anything monoculture, so that's the thing. And hope you guys like the video. I see that a lot of the people watching the videos, they're not subscribing. So if you are watching the video and you like the video, I request you to please subscribe to my video and also share it with your friends and family, so that I can reach a lot more people. The landscape that I'm driving through is very beautiful. You see a lot of areca nut plantations and coconut plantations. There are a lot of trees. Half of these trees I don't even know the name of. Not even half. I don't know the name of any of the trees. They look really beautiful. The landscape is very beautiful. So that's it. So I will see you guys on the farm then.
Saan kami pala? ಎಣಿಸಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ.
lagi.
ഇത്ര ആഴം വേണ്ട, ഇത്ര വേണ്ട, ചെറിയ ഒന്ന് കേൾക്കല്ലേ അപ്പോൾ വേണ്ട.
കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, പറയുന്ന കേൾക്കും. So hi, so as you can see, the saplings have arrived. So they came in yesterday afternoon. I bought in a total of 420 saplings. So you must have seen me dig the holes. So me and Mama, we digged about, I think, close to 150 holes now. And it's not as easy as you think it is. It's a lot of hard work, especially holding that machine and really digging those holes. It takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot from us. So we've decided that we will stop for the day and maybe go get some food, finish lunch, and then maybe we'll come back by 3:30 in the afternoon and then maybe dig a couple more holes. We'll see how many we can do. So we'll do that many, and then tomorrow we'll start planting the saplings. So these saplings have come a long way. They've come all the way from Tirthalli, which is in Shimoga, and it's near Agumbe. So they say that the Tirthalli breed is probably one of the best breeds of areca nuts, and they give you a good yield, and also they're very resistant to diseases. So I'm hoping that these they give me a good yield, and also they will not have that many diseases. So along with them, I also requested for 2 jackfruit saplings. So they sent me these really beautiful looking jackfruit saplings. So I'm going to put them in the periphery towards the boundary. Hopefully in a couple of years they will also start giving me some jackfruits. really beautiful. And the saplings that I planted, I'll show you. So this is a sapling that I planted a couple of weeks back, and as you can see, it is starting to grow new leaves. So which means that this plant is now has kind of broken into this environment, and the chances of this surviving is a lot higher than if it hadn't grown these leaves. So this usually takes some time, you know, the plants will take time to actually settle in and start producing these leaves, which means that the roots have also started exploring and they've started growing. So this is a good sign. It goes to show that the plant is now out of that survival mode where when you transplant them, when you bring them from another place and put them in a new place like this, they take some time to actually break in. And now this plant is settled in, and we know for sure with some little more care and, you know, give the plant more nutrients, the plant will survive and it will grow to be an adult. So this is a good sign, and it makes me really happy to see, you know, a new pair of leaves come out like this, because especially when you've planted it yourself, there's nothing more joyful than actually seeing a plant and being there with the plant and seeing it grow. It makes me really happy, and I hope that I'm able to share that happiness with you through this channel. So now that's a beautiful sign. So let me show you some of the other fruit trees that I planted a couple of weeks back. I couldn't shoot those videos because, you know, when I came here it was raining, so I couldn't take the camera out and go out and shoot. So today I'll show you some of those plants, some of those fruit trees that I've planted. So let's go see them. Okay, so this here is a cashew nut tree. So I bought this from Kerala. So I had traveled to Kerala a couple of weeks back, and I picked it up from a nursery in Kerala, and they told me that this fruit is yellow in color, and they should start giving me fruit from maybe the third or fourth year. So I really like the taste of the cashew nut fruit. Also the cashew nuts, they taste really yummy. So I thought that I would want to have some of them on my farm, especially for the fruits. I really like the cashew nut fruit, and you don't get to buy them in the markets. At least I don't see them in the markets when I go out to buy something. So I thought that I'll have them on my farm so that whenever I want to eat maybe cashew nuts and they're in season, I can have them. So that's the thing. I mean, if you have a piece of land and you're willing to, you know, go out and work and do a little bit of hard work, then you can have things that you want to have. I mean, you can plant your own fruit trees and have your own crops. If you had a piece of land where you can grow your rice and maybe ragi or whatever you want to grow, you can grow them yourself, and you don't need to be dependent on the market and the system. You know, I see that in the market you only get apples and mangoes and, you know, some of those really popular fruits, but there are so many different fruits on the planet, right? I mean, at least in India there are so many different fruits that you don't get to see in the markets, but they're really healthy for you, but then you don't get them. So if you know what those plants are, what those trees are, where you can find them, you know, and you have a piece of land, you know, buy a sapling, put them in there, and they will grow. And after you know, few years, you can, you know, they will start giving you fruits, and you can have them. And you don't need to be dependent on the market and just eat the fruits that they get, you know, that you get in the market. And I don't think those fruits are even good for you. I would say go local and eat local fruits that you can find. So I really like the cashew nut fruit, so I have a cashew nut plant. It's still a plant, but one day I'm hoping that it'll grow to be a tree, and I will be able to eat some cashew nuts and also some cashew nut fruits. Yeah. Okay, so here you have a very special tree. It's called a breadfruit tree. It's called a breadfruit. Breadfruits are they look just like jackfruits. It's just that they're a lot smaller, and the leaves look like jackfruit leaves, but when they are small. When the jackfruit tree is small, they start producing leaves like these, and then the leaves take on the normal shape of a jackfruit tree that you normally get to see. But when they are small, the jackfruit trees, some of them will have leaves like these, but these trees will have these leaves throughout their life. This is how the shape of the leaf is going to be. Now if you see this tree, it might look like it's not doing so great because the leaves have all decolored, and they look like, it kind of looks like it needs help. But I'm pretty sure that the the breadfruits are probably one of the most resilient plants. They're very strong. Once you put them in the ground, no matter what, they will grow. I can already see the leaves coming out, the small ones. I don't know if you can see them in the video, but I can see the small leaves sprouting. So these leaves are going to die off, and then the new leaves are going to grow, and this is a good sign. It goes to show that again the plant is getting accustomed. It's breaking into the environment here, and the roots are starting to grow. So I'm not too worried about this plant looking the way it is looking right now, but because I'm pretty sure that in a couple of weeks time the new leaves will be out and the plant will be doing great. But I feel that everybody should have a breadfruit tree in their house. If you have a little bit of place, you can have a breadfruit. They're a good source of carbohydrates. You don't really need to depend on rice all the time, or ragi, or any of the grains for carbohydrates. There are plants like these, and these fruits are really good source of carbohydrates. You can make powder of them. Once the fruit grows, you can take it, dry it, and make a powder out of them, and you can use them as flour, like to make chapatis and maybe other cookies and things like that. So in developing countries, especially in places like India and some of the other developing countries, we need to have these kind of plants. We need to grow the breadfruit, because they can replace rice as your source of carbohydrates. And grains have a lot of they have a lot of negative sides, because they're not very good for people who have diabetes. So who are suffering from diabetes and hypertension and all of that, they shouldn't be eating a lot of grains. So people like that, they can, this could be a replacement for that. They can use breadfruit as a source of carbohydrates in their food. So I have a breadfruit, and I'm hoping in a couple of years I will get the breadfruit, and I'll be able to eat them and enjoy them. So that's the breadfruit tree. I hope you like it, and if you have land, if you have some place near your home, plant one of these. They're really great. So this is another one of those beautiful fruit trees that I got from Kerala, from my trip to Kerala. So this is called the Mutal Padam. I don't know of the English name for this plant. At least I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find it. But the botanical name for this plant is Baccaria cortalensis. They are found in the forest, the jungles of Kerala. So somebody thought that somebody ate the fruit and they liked it, so they thought they would domesticate it and try and grow it in the plantations. So right now this plant is not doing so great. As you can see, the leaves have all dried up. I don't know if this plant will survive here, but I'll give it a few more days, maybe give it some more water, but and then see if it survives. I've heard that this fruit is really yummy, very very sweet, and it grows, and the really cool thing is that it grows on the branch of the tree, and not more like jackfruit. It grows on the bark of the tree, and the whole of the lower branch of the tree would be covered with fruit. I mean, if you want to look it up, you can Google it, and you should be able to see a lot more photos of this plant. Just type in Mutal Payam and you'll be able to see it. So I thought that it'd be cool to have this on my farm, so I bought one and I planted it. Let's see, it's still green. There's still some green parts to it, and there are a few more green leaves. Maybe it's taking a little bit more time to settle in, but once it settles in, it will start producing tiny leaves, and yeah, I think it has already started producing really small leaves are coming out. So I'm hoping that this plant survives. Maybe before I leave, I'll give it a little bit more compost and water it a little bit more so that it survives. And really excited for this plant. I'm hoping that it survives and it grows and I get to eat the mutalpayam that I've grown on my farm. That'll be a really exciting and really fun experience to have.